Mochan, Saudi support, and no top in the winter bellends. 1, the mighty Reds on the coattails of Man City. 3, get the fuck in there. The Reds have won, and have won well at Anfield against relegation-haunted Newcastle United. Chelsea have only drew with the Blue Shite, and that means we are 1 point behind Manchester City in second place, and we are 3 points ahead of Chelsea. So all of a sudden, is it a bit early to say, and then there were 2?
I've thought there were 2 for a while, to be fair. I thought what Chelsea were doing was quite unsustainable for a while, because what it was there's a lot of goals from set pieces, there's a lot of goals from right backs, a lot of goals from left backs.
True.
It's all well and good saying, well, they're allowed to score. They're definitely allowed to score. In the same way that goalkeepers are allowed to make saves, these players are allowed to score. But there becomes a point when Reece James isn't going to score 17 league goals in a season, is he? Which is basically what he was doing at the start of the season. That's the rate he was going at. It's not going to happen. And now they've got a problem, and it sort of feels like they're probably too far back now. They've got to go past 2 teams, having already played one of them at home.
Yeah.
It just feels quite tough to me, and I think there's a world where I can see us and City pulling away if football...
Phil is saying, and then there were 2. Andy, the game itself, it didn't go to plan at the very start. Thiago was in the pub this afternoon or something, and wasn't quite aware that John Joe Shelby wasn't on his side. Also, obviously wasn't aware that the one skill the fella has got in his locker is shooting from distance. It was literally the worst fella to tee up. Look, it's a decent finish from him. It goes in, and it gives them a bit of hope. But to me, it never, even at 1-0 down, and there was moans and groans like there always is in that situation, it never felt like we weren't going to do it.
Yeah, in a weird way, like, I feel like Thiago's man of the match, but he does 3 or 4 like really shite things in that game, like really awful things in dangerous areas, which could cost us goals, and does cost us goals the first time. The guy next to me, about 5 seconds before Shelby took the shot, before he took his 1,000,000 touches that he seemed to have before that effort, he said to me, "Oh God, not him," because he does have that in his locker, and that is, as you say, is only one thing he can do. And I feel like, in a weird way, whether Fabinho's there or whether he's organised the midfield in a way, it just doesn't happen when he's on the pitch. Somebody in that position doesn't have that amount of space, I feel like, anyway. But you're right, I never really thought like we were in trouble in the way that if Burnley went 1-0 up against us at Anfield, or if, I don't know, a Crystal Palace, even a progressive team, went 1-0 up at Anfield. I never really thought we were going to be in any sort of trouble in that game. And I mean, we have it clawed back. We have the comeback done in 27 minutes or something ridiculous, isn't it? And then it's the sort of the hour that follows that before Trent scores that unbelievable goal, where we struggle a little bit, and that's where it really surprised me a little bit. But no, it was a fairly par night for Liverpool. You'd say 3-1, 3-0 was what you'd expect there. It was never going to be the cricket score that everyone expected, because Eddie Howe was always going to set up a little bit more defensive. I mean, he goes from Shelby and Willock to Shelby and Hayden, which is a little bit more sort of on the conservative side. So they were always, whether it was coming from the manager or from the players, they were always going to be a little bit more reined in tonight. They didn't want to take a battering at this stage of the season, and it just sort of played out to be a little bit of a power football match, I think.
Yeah, I mean, it was 3-1, Phil, and it so easily could have been a lot more, though. I mean, Mo Salah's got a cob on coming off there as a sub, and he's doing a bit of a flounce, and I'm sure there'll be headlines about that tomorrow, because that's the type of thing that some journalists want to write about. I'd be saying to him, lad, you missed the sitter in the first half. You're Mo Salah. Yeah. What are you like? That's why you got took off. Don't miss next time.
That right footed. He didn't even kick the ball properly. It wasn't that he didn't. It wasn't that he missed. It was that he just didn't kick the ball properly. Come on, all you need to do is kick the ball, and you probably score and scuffs it wide. I mean, at the end of the day, though, footballer wants to play football. Shocker.
I know.
That's all it is, isn't it?
It's the oldest story in the book, isn't it? Like, man is unhappy at being substituted. From
Klopp's point of view, if you can't take Mohamed Salah off at 2-1 at home to Newcastle with 20-25 left, you've got a bit of a problem. And to be fair, I thought the subs did well when he came on.
Yeah.
I was really into Keita. I thought he did.
He had a bit of spice, didn't he?
It was like the perfect situation when he came in and they were trying to get forward and they were leaving gaps because they were trying to get forward, and he was getting the ball and he's like, sound this. He's looking round. He's like, there's 4 men in front of me. There's no one trying to tackle me. And there's a ball he plays into Mane, I think, and it was a really good ball. He just used it well. There's a really good one I like where he tries to lob Dubravka.
Yeah, it's good effort that one.
Good quick thinking. And yeah, I thought he was impressive. And if Fabinho is out, he's probably going to have to. Because Fabinho, you've got to think, he's probably not playing until Chelsea, maybe Leicester.
10 days.
10 days. If he's got the 10 days, he's got what? Yeah, 28th is probably next time. So probably thinking Chelsea. So there's going to be minutes for him. So it's good he looked bright. There's going to be minutes for a lot of them. Just on the players that were missing, I think you miss one of Van Dijk or Fabinho, you're sort of like, oh yeah, we can cope with that. Taking two out of it is really, really big. Taking the two of them is massive for what it means for everybody else, because you've not just got to do Fabinho, you've got to be conscious of the fact that Van Dijk isn't behind you if you can't quite do Fabinho right if you're Jordan Henderson.
Yeah. The St. Maximin one is a little bit concerning, isn't it? And Alisson has to make the save. All that said, though, I mean, and you said it before, Andy, about it being par. I think Liverpool have got something like 77% of the ball, which you'd expect. Racked up about 22 shots, had about 5 big chances. Newcastle didn't even get a corner all game, and I've probably had 2, maybe 3 shots. One. You know, the Shelby one, it's a good finish. It's bad defending from Liverpool, you can say, but equally, you know, the statisticians out there will be going, there's absolutely no chance that normally ends up in the back of the net. Same for Trent, though, to be fair. And, like, what a goal. That was so needed, wasn't it? Because it was a bit like, oh, come on, boys, this is a bit of a trudge and can't be arsed with those nervous last few minutes. Have that. That's a booster. Hello Reds, thanks for watching that taster of the post-match pint. If you want to watch the rest of that video, really easy to watch it right here on YouTube. Just click the join button below. That activates the membership. It gives you access to the Anfield Wrap's premium videos, which includes the post-match pint, but also reviews, previews, exclusive interviews, and it means you can follow us, follow them from here, the heart of Liverpool.